This is the problem with watching a show based on a comic book you've already read. The twists don't hit at all. Mark's going to university and his mum is now all alone. I still don't know why Science Dog is now a Seance Dog. Was the name copyrighted? Okay, I just looked it up and they wanted to do a separate TV show on Science Dog and they didn't want to include it in the Amazon Invincible deal. Mark throws away his box of action figures. I guess he's transitioning to adulthood, making a new start, but he decides to save his Seance Dog figure. I guess he's keeping a little bit of his past with him after all. Mark's roommate is balls deep in some dude, so he has to go slum it at his girlfriend's place. They decide maybe they should be shagging too. They show a shot of his action figure and her lipstick falling to the ground. I guess she's more about appearances and he's more about saving that which is important to him. She wonders if he has super sperm, but his mum got knocked up by a pure blood Viltrumite and she didn't get a shotgun blast out the back of her torso. The show then takes a sidestep to focus more on Alan the alien. At first I thought the voiceover was John Hodgman, but it turns out it's Paul F. Tompkins. He was great in Mr. Show with Bob and David. Check that show out if you haven't already. Hilarious. I was worried that this segment was going to be all still frames. It was giving me flashbacks to the arcane game Redfall. All of its cutscenes were stop motion. Just terrible. And lazy. Alan's people were conquered by the Viltrumites, but they fought back once they learned about their weaknesses. However, they were still too weak and some of them fled into space and started a breeding program. Then they got invited to live with Optimus Prime, Thetis, on Telestria. Alan was a genetically altered super soldier. They couldn't find anyone or anything that could challenge him. That's all well and good, but why not try him on a Viltrumite? They're the ultimate power. So they do, and he failed, which is why he's now an evaluator scouring the galaxy for someone else who can take on a Viltrumite. But how did he survive the fight with the Viltrumite? Why didn't they just kill him outright? Thankfully, this low-effort section only lasts 4 or so minutes. It was starting to give me a headache. It was good to get a bit of Alan's backstory. So Alan reports to the council. They want to know if he warned the champion of Earth that there's a Viltrumite living amongst them. But then they're shocked when he informs them that Mark only just learned what a Viltrumite was. The council doesn't want to trust a Viltrumite, but Thetis says that this is different because there's never been a Viltrumite who left his job. There's never been a fight between Viltrumites since the Great Purge. Alan goes home to his cat, but he hears a noise and goes to investigate. But it's the old trope of the noise being someone who should be there. Why was he surprised by the noise when it was his girlfriend General Talia? And we get a shot of a cat licking one of its 2 buttholes. Great. So 3 Viltrumites turn up and interrogate Alan about what he knows about the Viltrumite on Earth. They want to know if he has a kid. Then they whip his butt, sever his arm, eject his eyeball and punch his guts through his spine. A bit sus that they didn't attack anyone else. Alan survives, but he's on life support. Then Thetis comes and turns his life support off. Does he have some sweetheart deal with the Viltrumites? Leave us alone and we'll gather information on other civilizations. Smash cut to credits, but the credits are interrupted by grunting. Oh. Back at Guardians of the Globe, and Rex is harassing Duplicate about her relationship with the Immortal. She says that he's the only one who gets what it's like to die as many times as she has. If it's that bad, maybe you should find another line of work. I'm sick of this interpersonal drama. Come on, like half of every episode is this garbage. Rudy's trying to overcome his fear through meditation. Fear is preventing him from performing in battle, but it's also preventing him from asking Monster Girl to go to a movie. This is some weird stuff. This relationship between people whose minds are old but their bodies are young. Debbie goes to a support group for people whose spouses are dead superheroes. But her husband isn't dead. Just what we need, more personal growth. We just need more balance between the drama and the action. People have told me that we need to have more than just fighting, and I agree, but this is at least half of this episode. I've noticed shows do this thing where it's 2 separate events being intercut with each other. Debbie going to the support group and Rudy going to the movies. Can we just stick to one event and see it out instead of flipping back and forth? So this guy told Debbie that they were going to a bar after the session, but now they're here, it's just him. Why isn't she questioning that? And his voice is like a robot. So emotionless. Hey, I heard that. I'm trying, okay? So Seance Dog knocks on Mark's door and they have a fight because clearly it's an imposter. Turns out it's a bug man named Nualzot from Thraxia. He has a pretty sweet effect when he changes from Science Dog to the bug man. Like oil on water. Nualzot is a pretty funny comic relief character. He talks so naturally, like someone who's way out of their league. Great voice work. Cool design too. Like a Muppet version of Cronenberg's The Fly. So he wants Mark to come save his planet from meteors. For some reason Amber is fine with him leaving. I guess the plot needs her to just accept it. Debbie tells old mate that her husband was Omni-Man and he has a go at her, saying she should have known. Bro, no one knew. It was only when he killed the Guardians that it became apparent that he was evil. For some reason, she walks down the middle of the road. But it's okay because it's hard to animate traffic. Invincible arrives at Thraxia and there are no meteors, so he asks what's going on. The mighty monarch will explain all. And it's his dad. Shame I've already read the comics, so I already knew that. This is why the action is so important, because it's the only thing that the comics struggle to convey. This episode again is a 7. Way too much interpersonal drama for my tastes. I wouldn't mind some of the drama if it was more about people needing to do the right thing to save people's lives, or their performance in battle was lackluster. But a lot of it is romantic stuff that I could not care less about. I don't care about Amber. I don't care about Rex's jealousy of Duplicate and the Immortal. I care about Rudy and Monster Girl / Amanda, but only from a standpoint of him being a fish out of water and learning the ropes of having a functional body. Debbie I actually dislike. Because I've read the comics, I know what she does, and to me, she just seems like a mopey doormat. I can't stand people like her. Lets people walk all over her. Gets off on people taking pity on her. She's a real Debbie Downer. I'm glad Omni-Man's back, because I want more of that conflict between him and Mark. I want Mark to learn more about who he is, what he's up against. I want to see him have to overcome his fears and prepare for the future. I want to see more of what Cecil has cooked up. He has an entire government agency at his disposal, and I'm sure he's got some weird and wonderful plans on the boil. How is he preparing for the return of Omni-Man? How is he preparing for Mark switching sides? I'm interested to see if this show has the balls to show Mark's struggle snuggle. Whether they will show what Omni-Man's been up to the last year or so. Will they change it for modern audiences? The show's got a lift. If it's more romantic drama and moping around, I'm gonna drop it down to a 6. Give me planning, give me scheming, give me double crossing, give me backstories. Just don't give me crying. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, please consider subscribing. I release reviews occasionally when time allows, and a thumbs up would be a big motivator for further reviews. If you didn't like it, feel free to leave a thumbs down and let me know how I can improve in the comments below. Anyway, I'm Mixie, thanks for your time, and have a good one.